Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Doncaster Racecourse here on Saturday. It is April the 1st, 2017. It's the opening of the UK flat season, and I can't wait for it. I've been waiting all winter long. I like jump races, but, my specialty is the flat. Great card from Doncaster. I'm going to look at the first four races here on YouTube. I think those first four races are very intriguing. I'm going to look at those, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me each and every week for UK racing selections here on YouTube. It's going to be a great season. So let's get on to it. Race number one, the first grass flat race of the season in the UK, goes off as the 150 post time. It's the Betway Cambridge Trophy Stakes. It's a listed stakes here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $45,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Never won a Group 1 or Group 2 race. We have a field of 13 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the turf course here. My top pick in this one, I really like the 4-horse Birchwood. I'm going to go 4, 12, 6 in the tricast or the trifecta, but my top pick, number 4, Birchwood. 5-2. William Buick is on this Godolphin Doan, Richard Fahey trained 4-year-old colt out of Dark Angel. Most recently, this horse had a start on the 2nd of October. That came in France at Chantilly on Arc Day, and the Group 1 Qatar Prix de la Forêt. This horse finished 6 by 8 1/4 lengths behind Lamato. Just really couldn't keep up with them that day, and, just a little bit better. He's stepping down in class today, which I think will be the key, and I think he's been training up to this race, and I think he should do well. Start before at York on the 19th of August, 7 furlongs or 1,400 meters in the Group 3 Sky Bet City of York Stakes. Horse finished 5th by 5 1/4 lengths behind Nemorilia. Just really, in the stretch run, really weakened out of it. He hit the wall going up the hill. It just wasn't his day to win. And then a good one on the 26th of July, 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters in the Qatar Lennox Stakes. Horse finished 7th by 11 lengths at 8-1. Again, he just didn't do anything. He beat one horse. That's the only good thing, but he didn't show up. Like I said, he's stepping down in loads of class here today. He should have a good run. His last one came at Chester on the 9th of July, going 7 furlongs in a listed stakes. Horse won by a length. Easy victory. It was almost on the lead all throughout. It was just all around great race. So I'm going to use this horse here as a top pick. So to recount my bets for race number 1, the 150 post time from Doncaster, it's the Betway Cambridge Trophy Stakes. Going to go with the 4-horse Birchwood. I'm going to go 4, 12, 6 in the tricast, or the trifecta as we call it in the United States. So now let's get on to race number 2 from Doncaster. The 225 is the Betway Spring Mile Handicap. It's a Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $55,500. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards, which were declared to run, but which were eliminated at the 48th hour declaration stage from the 2017 Betway Lincoln Heritage Handicap. So this is the overflow, the horse that didn't make it into the Lincoln. So just keep that in mind. We have an overflow field here of 22 horses going the distance of ground of 1 mile or 1,600 meters on the turf course. It's a great race here. My top pick in this one, I'm going to go to the 6-horse, number 6, Namir, or hopefully I said that right, or Namir, whatever. I'm going to go 6-3-1 in the tricast of the trifecta, but number 6, Namir, we'll go with that pronunciation. Al Shakab owned, Richard Fahey trained, Frankie Dettori is on this 4-year-old gelding. This horse has a start under his belt so far this season. That came a few weeks ago on the 11th of March at Wolverhampton, a mile and the 8th, and a Class 2 handicap. This horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. He ran a hell of a race, really closing up that day. In this spot, he should do well. He hasn't been on the turf since last June. That came locally. But, he's come to this race very nicely, and he has a race. A lot of these horses are coming off a layoff, so you never know how fresh they are. But start before on February the 6th at Wolverhampton, 7 furlongs, Class 3 handicap. Horse won by half length, and I think a 7 furlongs might have been a little bit too short for this horse that day, especially on the course like Wolverhampton where you have, it starts on the turn. He just really was all out during the race. A great victory for this horse, but like I said, 7 furlongs, a little bit too short. And then a race I want to go back to. His last flat turf race of the season came in 2016 on June 24th at Doncaster. Doncaster, 1 mile Class 3 handicap. Horse finished 5th by 5 lengths. Last time Frankie Dettori rode this horse as the favorite, he never really showed up. Maybe there was something wrong with the horse that day. Maybe he had a slight injury because they took this horse to the sideline afterwards for almost 6 months. He came back right before Christmas and won. And since then, he's been pretty perfect, other than one slight flaw at Newcastle. But he's done well here today at his last few starts. He should do well today, so I'll use him as a top pick. So to recap my bets for the second from Doncaster, it's the 225 post time. It's the Betway Spring Mile Handicap. Gonna go with the 6-horse Namir. Gonna go 6-3-1 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 3 now from Doncaster, the 3 o'clock post time. It's the Betway Doncaster Mile Stakes. It's listed stakes here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $45,500. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Never won a Group 1 pattern race after August of 2016. We have a field of 11 horses going 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course. And my top pick in this one, I'm going to go to the 3-horse Crazy Horse. And, hopefully he's a very crazy horse. I'm going to go 3-11-8 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 3-11-8, but my top pick, number 3, Crazy Horse, 3-1. John Gosden trains this Frankie Dettori ridden 4-year-old colt out of Sleeping Indian. This horse is making his first start back in the UK since October, but at the end of the season last year, this horse was running in France, at Saint-Cloud to be exact, November 25th, actually my birthday, 1 mile, 1,600 meters on a very waterlogged turf course and a basic listed stakes. This horse finished second by 2 3/4 lengths, by 2.5 lengths behind Jascoot. With Christoph Simeon up this day, this horse really closed up that day, but with the extra moisture, I don't think this horse had the best of goings. I think this horse will do a little bit better with a little bit of a drier turf course. It doesn't have to be good or firm. It could be, could have maybe like a little bit of a soft turf course, but not heavy. If this horse gets a heavy turf course, it wouldn't be, it's something ideally you don't want to see. But start before this horse ran Saint-Cloud again, October 30th, 1 mile, 1,600 meters in the Group 3 pre-Perth stakes. This horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths behind Susak. This horse closed up that day very nicely, but just needed a little extra kick. And then start 4 came to Salisbury, October 10th, 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters in Class 3 conditions race. Horse won by 3/4 length. Easy, clear victory that day for this one. It was just an all-around great victory. This horse, last year, Frankie Dettori did ride this horse 3 times. Once at Deauville back in May of 2016, and the Prix Pouilly de Assy Poulains. Sorry, my French is horrible. I'm working on that in college. This horse finished 6 by 5.5 lengths that day. Didn't show up at all that day. It just, he just was really, it just wasn't his day to win. But at the end of the 2015 flat season, this horse won the Group 3 Worthington's Whiz Kids Stakes, and he won a maiden race at Newmarket very nicely, both of those starts. He should have a good start here today at 3-1. Watch out for this one, for this John Gosden and Frankie Dettori teamed up 4-year-old colt. So to recap my bets for the third race from Doncaster, it's the 3 o'clock post time. It's the Doncaster Mile. I'm going to go with the 3-horse Crazy Horse. I'm going to go 3-11-8 in the TriCast or the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 4, and the 4th race is the big one, and Big In, it's the best race of the card so far today, and in Big In also, it's the Big In with the field size. It's like 50 horses in this one, but that's over-exaggerating. But this 4th race from Doncaster is the Lincoln Handicap, the Betway Lincoln Handicap. It's part of the Heritage Handicap Series. It's for a Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse $123,000 in American currency for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of ton of horses, 22 of them going the distance of ground of 1 mile or 1,600 meters. And, when I see 22 horse fields, it's something, in America, you barely see 10 horse fields most places. You have one race a year in North America where you see a 20 horse field. That's the Kentucky Derby, coming up in about 5 weeks. Join me here on YouTube for that as I plug that. But, you only see once a year 20 horses. Occasionally you'll see 14 horses, but that's the max at most racetracks. 22 is just, for an American, it's just wow. This is a great race. Bit of a tricky race to get a horse around. All these heritage handicap races. Last year, the last race of Champions Day at Ascot, I went 5 out of 6 in the Balmoral Handicap. I think that was the last race on the program at Ascot. I would have won 6 out of 6, but that's a tricky race. That was a 30 horse field or something like that. But but I think I found a horse that's very good in this one. I really like the 5-horse Yufton. I'm going to go 5-20-10 in the tricast of the trifecta. 5-20-10, but number 5, Yufton, my top pick. 9-2, Andrea Tazzini is on this Roger Carlton-trained 6-year-old gelding out of Invisible Spirit. Most recently, on the 11th of March at Wolverhampton, 7 furlongs in basic listed stakes. This horse finished third by a head behind Saltine. He needed the race. It was his first start since October. He closed up well, but you just know he needed the race. Second off the layoff, back on turf. I think this horse will run a big one here today. Start before October the 15th at Ascot in the Class 2 Handicap. I believe it was the Balmoral Handicap. This horse won by the only horse I didn't have in that program from Ascot. And if you don't believe me, I went 5 out of 6. The videos on YouTube, and made a lot of money that day. But this horse won by a length at 12-1. Really closed up very well. Just an all-around great victory for this horse with the Adazzini up that day. And then start for 24th September at Newmarket, 7 furlongs, Class 2 Handicap. Horse finished 4th by 3/4 length. Again, just had he finishing 4th by 3/4 length. He just needed a little extra kick. His better distance is a mile. He really improved at the end of the year last year. He should have a big one here today, back on turf, second off the layoff. So let me use this horse here as a top pick. So to recap my bets for the 4th race from Doncaster, the 3:35 post time, it's the Lincoln Handicap. Gonna go with the 5-horse Yufton. Gonna go 5-20-10 in the tricast or the trifecta. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody, and join me next weekend here on YouTube for the Grand National meeting from Aintree. Full preview and selections. Good luck, everybody.